Chapter 9. Toulouse, 8th of March, present day. Ready to have serious words with a very naughty boy or girl. I'm like a souped-up, pissed-off Santa. The ringtone is the Morse code dash, standard for a French call, so at least we're dealing with someone in the same country. On the fourth elongated burr, the call connects. The moment of silence seems to be pregnant with possibilities, before a cracked, tremolo quaver speaks at last. "Did you find it then, boy?" I can tell I'm on the line with a man of advanced years, but the voice's distortion is solely caused by passing time. There is nothing comical nor kindly about it. Just coldness in the timbre, an arctic blast of intonation. This is not someone talking to a friend, or even an appreciated employee. The shit wizard wasn't an apprentice, but a despised flunky, a necessity, a means to an end, and nothing more. If he did, it got eaten up as part of his ice cube in an oven impression, I answer casually. Silence stretches thinly across the airwaves. When the speaker returns, his distaste amplifies immeasurably. "Do you think I will not protect the valuables I seek in crafting my own curse? We are not all such fools, Monsieur Bonhomme." The three of us exchange glances, unspoken questions passing between us. "You appear to have me at a disadvantage, Monsieur," I fish, speculatively, with little expectation of success. "And I intend to keep you at one. Again, I am not a fool, and my patience for being treated as such is incredibly limited. I assume by your inventive description that the house's previous occupant is no longer living." I am not surprised at the lack of sadness or regret in his speech. It is a completed business transaction, and he has already turned the ledger to the next page. "An annoyance, but not entirely unpredicted, your potential involvement. It leaves you in my debt, Paul." I'm not sure I agree with you, although I can't imagine the average shit wizard carries much of a market value these days anyhow. A rapid, heaving whistling echoes through the tinny speaker. It takes me a minute to realise it is his geriatric attempt at laughter. He was a shit wizard, wasn't he? I see that the trademark Bonhomme humour was not overstated. Your turn of phrase again does you credit." The breathing pattern slows. He inhales a moment, then clears the building gargle at the back of his throat with a wet cough. "Regardless of whether you considered the debt to exist, the fact remains that I still have something you want very much, I suspect. Or certainly that those whom you value do. Is Nithael's mule with you today, Paul?" Shock slaps my solar plexus. The sharp exhalation that escapes my lips outside of my control. Aisha moves to steady Isaac, with a calming hand on the shoulder. He looks ready to collapse again. "Whether or not he is, I know he won't be far from you, eh? Such a pity, really. All that time he wasted searching, all those many heavy years, so distant, so frustrated. Could have just waited in his little lab, poking and prodding at the universe instead of searching for his long-lost brother. What wonders might he have discovered by now?" Ha! A half-hack, half-cough carries its high moisture content to my ears. "Or he might well have destroyed us all with his meddling. Maybe I've done us all a favour, boy?" The surprise is wearing off, and anger is angling to replace it. "I think I've a few years on you, boy," I hiss back. There is a reflective silence. "Perhaps, Paul." For the first time in this lopsided conversation, I feel as though I've exposed a chink. My response has given him pause, at least. Sadly, it's not telling me the stuff I need to know, which boils down to who is this man and what is he after? "Maybe we will have time to have an antiquated dick measuring contest about our longevity before this is through, In the meantime, my requirements don't vary. I would like very much to receive a present of apology for the inconvenience caused by the murder of my associate. His death is on your hands, not mine, asshole. My top lip peels back, anger manifesting in my tone. I never specified who murdered him, did I, Paul? A long, suffering sigh echoes across to me, filled with tried patience and eternal disappointment. To have lived so long, yet to still be servant to our emotional responses, is a saddening sight indeed. Again, I require recompense. A certain lady's face covering would be sufficient. Then, perhaps we can set up a happy ending for your friend, ah? Family reunions are always such touching scenes. I bite down on my response, like a battlefield tongue depressor. Good God be damned if I'll give him the satisfaction of rising to his bait. Instead, I measure my response, cutting it to the fit of the conversation. Where would we find such a gift, and how would we deliver it to you if we did? The satisfaction in his voice edges towards gloating as he replies, I'm sure a man of your capabilities will succeed in locating it where the shit wizard failed so miserably. No. As for the delivery, let's organize that once you have it wrapped up in a bow, shall we? You have my number now, or rather, a number I allow you to have. I think you are some way from having my number, Cadorna. The line cuts. The absence of the almost undetectable background static, the only sign of the man's departure. I look at my companions. Aisha has passed beyond her normal state of anger-fueled readiness. Her rage is now so ice-cold, it comes close to absolute zero. Isaac has recovered from his second significant shock in so many hours, and his features are an open book for those who know him. The skin tight with concern and stress, his fear clearly displayed. Not only is his brother apparently being held by the eminently dangerous individual we just spoke to, but we're going to have to tangle with someone capable of restraining and controlling a creature from a dimension well beyond our own in terms of talent and power. Pressure wraps itself around us, huddling us instinctively closer together as it beats at us from the flickering shadows cast by the ceiling's epileptic neon tube. I chuckle, with a need to ease the pressure, shoving the phone and my hands into my jacket pockets, forcing my shoulders to relax, to portray an ease I am a long way from feeling. So, anyone else feel that he was more Palpatine than old Ben? I inquire casually. The oppressive tension lessened a notch. Just enough to allow space to breathe more easily. Aisha half rolls her eyes at my Star Wars reference, but she knows what I did and why, and appreciates my efforts. Isaac nods his thanks, but the worry doesn't move from his expression. I don't doubt that you're correct, lad, but who on earth is this creature? Enslavement has never been a concern for me with Nithael around. I've never met a force that could perform such a task. Hell, never heard of one in all my travels or time researching. Now we find not only has someone succeeded in something I'd have said was impossible, but knows all about us and is press-ganging us into service. This can't end well, Paul. Not any way I look at it. He unconsciously rubs at his temples with bent knuckles, though whether he is kneading away tension or trying to get his brain to work harder, I don't know. Now it is my turn to sigh. I don't doubt it of me, but it doesn't change the facts of the situation. Right now he has us over a barrel. You and I have gone gambling enough times to know there's only one thing to do when someone holds all the cards. Yes, I know, you cheat and normally drag me into some unfortunate altercation because of it. So how do we cheat in this situation? Isaac looks doubtfully at me, curving his eyebrow. I sigh again. I have no idea. We're going to have to wing it, try to get some ideas together as we go, find out who or what we're dealing with and what they truly want, whilst keeping them happy by searching for this bloody veil that they've insisted we get. That's as refined a plan of action as possible for now. Which is to say, about as developed as your self-preservation instinct. Aisha inserts, catching me off guard. That dry, deadpan style is a killer of a delivery, and I can't help but crack a genuine smile. I nod my thanks. She more than repaid my own efforts. So, accepting that we really need to refine the game plan as soon as possible, what's our first play? Isaac tugs absent-mindedly at his shirt sleeve, taking his time to think as he worries at a loose thread that has danced out of a buttonhole like a charmed cotton snake. I think I would be best suited playing to my forte. I'd suggest I head back to crack on with researching what magic might be capable of dominating an Elohim and find rumours of who could even conceivably wield that power. I'll dig in the books and reach out to anyone I can think of that might aid us in terms of information. Aisha looks grim and speaks with great reluctance. I don't see that we have much choice, Sabi. We need to speak to the same person who pointed you towards this hovel in the first place. We need to have a talk with Frank.